Bienvenidos a nuestro rinconcito de reflexión.
Mi nombre es Sandy
Mi nombre es Yolanda.
y esto es el primer episodio de nuestro podcast.
Do you want to say why we started?
Why did we start a podcast? Empezamos un podcast porque siento que tenemos conversaciones muy profundas y muy, what would you call it?
I don't know.
It's okay. I think just deep conversations
Yeah.
about our growth as humans and as spiritual beings. Our conversations are always
About what we've healed, I think, too.
mm-hmm.
Like about what we've worked so hard to get over and like kind of put like un hasta aquí, ¿no?
Sí, sí. We have these conversations a lot y pues aparte de tenerlas podemos hablar about these topics for hours. So I feel like
and that's all we talk about all the time when we're together.
Yeah, we don't talk about anything else. So if we're having them already, like why not share them with like-minded people, no?
Yeah. But like I told you last time, it's also nice to like record this and like know where we're at this moment and later come back and reflect on it.
Yeah, you're right. It's good to see your growth, even like journals, because we both journaled for a while, no?
Mm-hmm.
I have like old journals that sometimes I'll go back and read just to kind of see where my mindset was at.
My journals were always like pros and cons.
Pros and cons?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, when I look back, dude, it's weird because it's always like, I want to do
Pro
this.
of having my bathroom red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really, but
well,
like just of decisions that like I wanted to make, or like the mentality that I was having, because that was always been my thing, you know, to write like estoy pensando así, pero qué es lo malo de estar pensando así, qué es lo bueno, like qué gano, y you know.
Okay. So de este pensamiento, ¿qué me beneficia y qué no me sirve?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So I guess this is another way of journaling.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Is. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So the name of our podcast is Nuestro Rinconcito de Reflexión. Es un nombre que no pensamos mucho.
Not really.
It came very quick to us. We literally started like a little shared note section. Y ahí escribimos.
Well, you started it.
Yeah, I started it.
And you kind of gave all the ideas. I just gave that yin and yang one.
Well, I feel like that was very... It set the mood about what we were going to talk about. Porque...
We have different ways of viewing everything.
Yes, y aparte siento que... Well, you were working. I'm unemployed at the moment. So it was like... I had the time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to write. And I just started writing things that were like que para mí nos... reflexiona las dos. Entonces, uno... was
que
like,
nos representa,
perdón, no reflexiona. I can't think of the word. Uno era como las Capricornio, el otro era...
You put something about rinconcito.
Oh yeah, I put un rinconcito en el cielo. Yeah, that's a famous song by Ramón Ayala, right?
Yeah, and I think that stuck because I was like, now that song stuck in my head, so I liked that idea. And I was the one that said reflexión.
Yep,
¿no?
You came up with the reflexión part, yeah. Because un rinconcito en el cielo sounds too like...
You said like a piece of heaven.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
No, but I mean like it was too basic, the name.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But when I thought about it, un rinconcito en el cielo, when we have these conversations and when we share this space, that's what it feels like. That's why I wrote it down, because se siente como que a little slice of heaven, a little slice of something that we're so grateful for.
Yeah.
Ya yo puse eso y luego tú pusiste rinconcito de reflexión, and I remember I googled it and there's already a podcast named that, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, there's already something named that, but then we were like, Nuestro Rinconcito de Reflexión, and it was like perfect, because all of our conversations, after we have our conversations, siento que siempre reflexionamos and we regroup and kind of discuss like what we either thought about, how it helped us grow, or what we reflected, because at the end of the day, somos espejos of each other.
Yeah.
We are mirrors, so if I'm seeing something or if I'm noticing something, at the end of the day, it's going to reflect back to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Reflexionar.
All right. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. So we want to talk a little bit about how our life was antes de despertar. And I feel like I thought I was living a pretty normal life. You know, I had divorced parents. My dad was out of the picture since I was like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was always working. I lived with my siblings for like pretty much most of my childhood, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of my life, if you think about it.
Up until like what,
'Cause
a couple years ago?
no, probably till I had Maddie when she was like 2.
But my tío did I live with you guys for a little bit?
Oh yeah, but he only lived with us for a couple. I don't even think a year because he left.
Mm. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So my dad was out of the picture. My mom was always working, and um, I mean, I'm the youngest of 6, so my youngest brother is 11 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really like have a relationship with my siblings because they're older than me, and on top of that, we're like from a different dad. So I feel like that also has a lot to do with it. That I wasn't able to like bond with them when I was little. Now that it's different. Like I feel like once I grew up, I grew out of that too. Like
that mentality of separating yourself a little bit,
yeah,
maybe?
Yeah.
Unconsciously.
Yeah. And then, well, my mom raised me always with like this mentality of having to be responsible, having to go to school with, like, even if I was sick or like I had to work since I was little because, you know, she was a single mom. I had to help her and not necessarily help her with bills, pero poder tener dinero para que yo no le estuviera pidiendo a ella.
Y aparte también creo que quería enseñarte, ¿no?
A ser
to be
responsable.
working, like to work.
Yeah.
Que para tener cosas tienes que trabajar.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and she never really pushed religion on me. I feel like we did go to church, but it wasn't like super big. If we didn't go, like, no se iba a acabar el mundo. But she did get me baptized though, so.
We
And now
baptized.
she's like, ya eso no se usa. Or like she's like, pues pienso que desde hace mucho she realized like que Dios no nomás está en la iglesia.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And then también like working at the Asian store had a big impact on her, which she's worked at that Asian store since before I was born.
For 30 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she told you, huh?
She told me the same. Yeah. She started working there when I was born because I'm 30.
Yeah. So I feel like as I got older, she was more insistent on me having like a bigger relationship with my siblings, and she like everything turned into like son tus hermanos. Like I had to wash, I had to clean my brother's room, I had to plancharle la ropa all the time, and it was always like son tus hermanos, or like I would have to babysit. Remember?
Oh yeah,
babysit all the time. Yeah,
I do remember.
And then she had this mentality of like, si no quieres a mi familia, no me quieres a mí también.
Dios.
But she's very much gotten over that.
She has, but if you think about it, like you are one family. It's not like you're two families. You're
no,
one
but I think she
family.
thinks she says this because of her siblings, her nieces and nephews.
But they're your family regardless. But I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And well, school was a whole other like otro rollo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Middle school was a little bit crazier. I kind of always felt like I was in a competition. You know, we talked about that last time. And I feel like it was like, that's how Hispanic people are.
The Hispanic community, I feel like a lot of communities, but speaking for our community, there can be a lot of competition.
Yeah.
But just going back to elementary school, though, how were you in elementary school? I feel like you were very like...
I was weird. I very much remind myself, well, Gorda reminds me of me because she's like
youngest girl.
My middle, yeah, because she's just wild. She's very different. Like I had very different styles of things, like the way I dressed.
You weren't scared to be yourself.
Yeah, I wasn't, and she isn't either. So that's why she reminds me of me. But when I went to high school, it was different. I got along with more people, and then I ended up going to that mom's school, so that was a big change.
Yeah.
I remember I didn't even want to have friends
in that school.
Yeah.
I feel like you were in a crazy headspace in that moment, no?
Yeah, I was. Well, because I was going through like everything with Jorge, and then I was like a single mom.
Because you were pregnant, yeah.
And I was pregnant, yeah. And then
did you feel like when you were in middle school that you could still be your weird self, or did you feel like you kind of started changing a little bit in middle school and started like fitting more into what people
because I used to always dress different.
Yeah.
I used to like do my hair different. Remember I had my bob?
Yeah, I remember your bob. She had like a coconut haircut, el pelo bien cortito y
Ahora
lo rojo,
me
rojo,
hace que me
rojo.
acuerde de los Incredibles. ¿Cómo se llama?
Oh,
Velma?
oh, the short lady. I thought you were talking about the mom.
No.
Yeah, that's.
Velma?
I don't remember.
I don't know. But her.
The one that makes the costumes.
Yeah,
Sí.
I always remember, like, when I cut Gorda's hair, I was like, oh my god, she's me. But in middle school, I started to, like, change the way I dressed. I let my hair grow. But then high school was different, so it was also a little crazy. We would hang out with the wrong people.
With the wrong crowds, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have, so she's my aunt. She's my mom's sister, obviously, as she explained. But de los sobrinos de ella, de mi mamá, somos 3 mujeres más grandes que tú, ¿no? Sí. Somos 3. Y una de las muchachas, una de mis primas, de tus sobrinas, went to school with you a little bit, ¿no?
No.
Not went to school
to elementary, but
no, sorry, not high school, but you guys kind of like were in high school / middle school around the same time. Y como que
and we hung around the same people.
How old were you and how old was she?
So she's older than me by what, 3
2
years?
No, es pues nomás como un mes más grande que yo.
Yeah. So I guess when I was in 3rd grade, she was in 5th grade, so she was 2 grades higher than me. So I guess she was in high school and I was like in 8th grade. That's when they moved in with us too.
When you were in 8th grade and she was in 10th grade?
I think 8th grade or 7th grade, yeah.
And what were you, like 13, 14?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy because I feel like you were always so ahead of your time because we were so much older. I mean, 2 years is not a lot.
Yeah,
pero la diferencia de 14 o 13 a 15 a 16 is too much.
Yeah, so I was always like doing things that I was, well, basically not even younger, but just, I guess I was just wild to want to do all these things with you guys and be a part of it.
Well, I feel like it's just because like, it's not like you never knew her and then 8th grade and then boom, you guys are best friends. It's like we grew, I feel like you and her crecieron un poquito más cercanas de niñas, ¿no?
Yeah.
Como hasta yo creo como, pues no sé. Ya.
Siempre porque pues tu tía me cuidaba cuando yo estaba chiquilla.
Pues a nosotros me acuerdo que también nos cuidó un rato, pero no igual que a ti. Entonces, siento que a lo mejor no era de que it was weird that you were hanging out with us porque it was like that siempre, desde que naciste.
Yeah. Yeah, so I also want to talk about cómo fue que yo pensaba del mundo de los adultos.
Cuando eras niña.
Ya, cuando yo era niña, yo siempre pensaba que los adultos tenían la razón. Like, que todo lo que hacían estaba bien. And that they had their life figured out.
Yeah.
All the time. So, that's all I got to say.
That's all you got to say. I guess for me, like growing up, ¿cómo fue mi vida antes de despertar? I was a very obedient child. Growing up, I'm the oldest of 5 siblings. So, somos 3 mujeres y 2 hombres, pero soy yo y luego los 2 hombres y luego las 2 mujeres. Entonces, there was nobody in my age that shared the responsibility, porque siento que en the culture, en nuestra cultura, es muy aceptable que siempre la mujer se responsabiliza y los hombres no.
Yeah.
So, because I feel like even though your mom te hacía que te responsabilizaras a lo mejor por tus hermanos, like you weren't the only one, because your sister, antes de que tú lo hicieras, tus hermanas lo hacían. So I feel like it's something very, very, very used in our culture. Entonces, yo siendo la más grande de 5 hermanos, my parents siempre me criaron a ser like super obedient. Yo creo que es algo con lo que batallo hasta el día de hoy. But it was very much lo que ellos dijeran era y yo no podía opinar o decir diferente because it wasn't a reality.
Yeah.
Entonces, I don't know, for me elementary school I don't even remember elementary school. We moved around a lot when I was in elementary school.
Well, we even went to elementary school once.
We're together for a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember, that's what I was telling my grandma the other day. So I went to school in Aurora, I went to school in Denver, then we moved to Fountain, then we moved back to Denver, and then again back. Y pues ya, I think that was like in the span of like 2 years, porque me acuerdo que empecé kindergarten in Denver, nos vinimos para acá, Y luego nos regresamos y nos volvimos a regresar, and I was over here in like second grade, third grade maybe. Entonces, I did grow up around the Hispanic culture, I guess, because I was exposed to it through my family. Pero de niña, I did go to a primarily like white school in a very rural area. So era bien, how do you say this nicely? It was a very,
It's just different.
like very hick town. That's the nicest way I can say it. Like it was very small town, like very country. That's how way to say it nicely. Very country, like country. And I feel like it messed with me a lot. I didn't really realize it, I think, until I was like in high school. Lo que fue elementary to middle school, it didn't really impact me very much because I feel like in esa etapa había más different like cultures of people. Y fue eso, and well, my parents at home were just very strict. They didn't really let me go out much, even when I got older, when I was like 19, que ya me había graduado de la escuela.
Hasta que nos escapábamos.
Yeah.
Que tu tía se ponía a salir por la ventana.
One of my mom's sisters, la que es más grande que ella, son tres, la de en medio. Bueno, son cuatro, pero la que está entre las dos, las tres de las grandes, ella nos hacía el paro para que no saliéramos. Because she knew what my parents were doing one night. She knew I had to have an adolescencia, not a childhood because I wasn't a child, but yeah, so
that was fun.
It was really fun. It was something that I feel like it's not like we were doing bad stuff, but
yeah,
we were, but it wasn't horrible. So yeah,
we're still alive.
We're still alive. Pues ya en la casa vivimos cosas de los hispanos muy, how do you say, typical, muy no fuera de lo normal. Mi papá siempre fue an alcoholic. My mom,
Mine
too. My mom, she had like that rule of like that, because my dad was the way he was, my mom was very like toxic, because ella lo quería controlar y él no se dejaba controlar. So it was like probably like the first, I want to say like 15 years of their marriage, maybe a little less, maybe like 10. It was a lot of back and forth fighting, and so it wasn't a very healthy environment to grow up in. Now that I look back, I don't feel like as a child lo veía mal, because I feel like my parents siempre, like above everything, nos enseñaron amor. So they always loved us. They always siempre eran de andarnos abrazando, andarnos besando. Like it was always like very acceptable in my family, in my immediate family, to be like, I love you, and just siempre estar encima unos de los otros.
It's crazy that you say that, because I used to like dream of having that life that you had with both of your parents.
And that's the crazy part, because I think about that a lot, and it's like you had an absent father in the sense that he wasn't there at all. Mm-hmm. My dad was there, but he was
there but not there, maybe?
Yeah. He created a lot of, he didn't create, I think it was generational. I think it was passed down. I think it's something that he went through as a child. He doesn't share much about his childhood. But he's not a perfect human. None of us are. But he's our dad. So I love him as he is,
Yeah.
And I don't try to change him. I understand that is on him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I couldn't wait to be 15, have my quinceañera, and be able to party hardy. I just wanted.
But then you couldn't.
But then I couldn't, but I feel like it's funny because I couldn't wait to turn 15. I had my quinceañera when I was 16. But then now it's always like, I just want to be a kid. I don't want all these responsibilities.
I felt like I had so much responsibilities when I was a kid that I didn't want to be a grown up. I was like, I'm already working. I'm 9. Like, I should be at home.
It's funny that you mention that, because you worked in that setting. Y yo, desde los 2 años, ayudaba a mi mamá a limpiar casas. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's crazy how much our lives mirror each other. To me, I feel like I didn't see it as a responsibility, maybe because it was different. because it was like my mom's business, so si me hacía like mensa,
No te pasaba
nada pasaba, you know,
yeah.
y en el sentido tuyo, que you guys were
At the
like
restaurant.
having to be kind and like actually, not actually work, but like, I don't know how to say it.
Well, I'm actually really good with people though, so I feel like that wasn't the hard part. The
What was
hard
that
part was waking up early,
Mm.
like getting there and like having to clean big things. Like mi mamá me ponía a limpiar afuera, scrub the tables, clean the windows, clean the bathrooms.
Y aparte siento que para ti era like the fun days, para ti era como de jueves a viernes.
Era de viernes a domingo. El restaurante era viernes y sábado y las casas el lunes.
So I feel like that was, and for me, it was just like Monday to Friday. So
yeah.
the weekends, most of the time, my mom was off. So I feel like
Yeah.
maybe that's why it was a little different for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just saw it as like also like you said, como que los adultos siempre tenían la razón y ellos te podían salvar de lo que fuera. Yo sentía que no había cosa que pasara en el mundo que mis papás no, de la que mis papás no me pudieran proteger.
Not me. I was scared of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I couldn't tell her anything. I would always either tell your tia Lola or your mom. Like when I was pregnant, that your mom was the first one I told. Like I was terrified of my mom, and like now she's a whole different person.
But I feel like I don't mean, my parents a mí me regañaban mucho, no siento en ese sentido. Yo pienso que como, yo digo como en el sentido de like, if something happens, you know, like if there's a fire or if, kind of stuff like that, like dangerous things. I felt like there was nothing my parents, like yo los veía como like superhuman.
Yeah, me too. I was like, dang, my mom's a badass. Like she's doing it all by herself.
Yeah. You're not wrong. No tienen la razón. Okay, next question. What made you break and realize, que tenías que hacer un cambio en tu vida? Well, I think we can talk a little bit about, before we get into that question, talk a little bit about maybe after high school, like into early adulthood, don't you? Because I feel like that's what, en un sentido, truly.
And we have very different lives after high school because I already had a kid when I graduated. So you go first.
I go first. Okay. Okay, so I graduated high school when I was 19. Like I said, my parents they sheltered us very much. So I was not allowed to even go to the movies with my friends. I was not allowed to spend the night at my friends. Every once in a while, every once in a blue moon, como que me dejaban hacer algo, but it was always very like, where are you? What are you doing? Always constantly like contacting me to make sure I was okay. And I kind of got tired of that. I wanted an out. I wanted so badly. Like veía que ellas, bueno, before you guys had the babies.
So we were still in high school.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah, veía que siempre andaban like afuera, that they were always having fun. They were always going to the bailes, going to colladuras, going to the carreras, going everywhere, up and down. And those are things I was part of too, because my dad loved colladuras, so we would go all of us together, or a veces we would go out, pero mis papás siempre con nosotros, íbamos a las quinceañeras, so it wasn't the same. So I wanted that. Entonces, I had, a couple boyfriends, if you can even call them that, before I graduated high school. But then once I graduated high school, I got into my first serious relationship, and I feel like I kind of used that relationship to escape my family. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I feel like typical sheltered child, ¿no? Pensé que esta relación me va a dar libertad, and it's crazy because the other day I was watching the show. Sorry, but the girl was like, the dad asked girl, he's like, why do you want to get married? And she was like, I just want freedom, because her mom didn't let her do anything. And the dad was like, honey, if you want freedom, marriage is not the way to go. And I was just like, fuck. But anyways,
you realized too late, girl. Yeah, you can't go back in time.
I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Pero, pues sí, I got into a relationship with somebody who was younger than me, 2 years younger than me, and whew, yeah, that was a lot. I was in that relationship for, I think, 5 years. I don't remember anymore. Yeah. And it was, in the beginning, it was very beautiful, because I feel like it was that first hard love, that you have. Y I was really happy. Como los primeros, 4 or 5 meses of that relationship, I was really, really happy. And then slowly things started getting worse. We had a a lot of addiction issues. He had a lot of different issues.
And a different mentality.
A different mentality. I don't know if a different mentality, because I feel like now that I think about it, it's very similar to what I grew up with at home. En diferente, ¿cómo se dice? Como la ley de la polaridad, ¿no? Que lo luz y la oscuridad, they're on the same level, they're just different extremities. Have you read about that? Mm-hmm. So it's like lo frío y lo caliente, they're both a temperature, but just of different degrees. So I feel like it was like that, like similar mindsets, just at different degrees.
Que los dos queman.
Mm-hmm. No, que los dos, o sea, pensaban lo mismo, because I feel like at home, my parents didn't let me go out, my parents me querían tener siempre protegida, pensaban que algo me iba a pasar, que alguien me iba a llevar, which it ended up happening, but, well, me fui, no me llevaron. And he was like that. It was like, si te sales, alguien te va a voltear a ver. Si andas sola.
But your dad wasn't like that.
No, pero in the sense of controlling me para que no me pasara nada. Oh. It's the same thing. Como él me controlaba por diferentes razones. Yeah. Entonces, yeah. So it was that very typical first toxic relationship. Mm-hmm. I was in that relationship for 5 years. It was very abusive, very just. I learned a lot from that relationship. And pues sí, ya me dejé de él after 5 years, and I lived a crazy life. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I feel like that relationship helped me grow. Entendí muchas cosas de la vida. Cuando yo entré a that relationship, cuando yo entré a esa relación, yo tenía una mentalidad de una niña de 12 años. Like, yo no sabía nada del mundo, yo no sabía nada de la vida. No, yo pensaba que todo era color de rosa, que todo era bonito, que todos eran buenas gentes. Yo siempre quería andar ayudando a la gente porque pensaba que todos tenían las mismas intenciones que yo tenía. Entonces, con él aprendí que that's not real, que en el mundo hay de todo. Aprendí a quererme y a valorarme, aprendí a lo que yo quería para mí, lo que yo me merecía. Y aprendí lo que es la vida y de lo que se trata. Entonces, pues sí, ya me dejé de él y siento que sí batallé un buen rato with having to like kind of let go of that, because it was hard, because I feel like I checked out mentally before I did physically, pero de todos modos, once I checked out, it was so hard. It was hard for me to not go back, because it was that relationship where me iba y me regresaba, me iba y me regresaba, me iba y me regresaba. So that last time I was like, no, ya esta vez es ya, like, well, at that time my sister lived with me, and I feel like ella me apoyó mucho. Ella, sin saberlo, mis hermanas me dieron mucha fuerza, porque en esa etapa tú ya estabas casada, ya tenías 3 hijos, ¿no? Y yo pues quería andarle dando vuelo a la hilacha. And pues with you and your husband, you guys would go out with me every once in a while, but I mean, you guys have kids.
We went out a lot.
We did, but I feel like you guys had kids, so it wasn't like we could go out every weekend. Como yo quería andar out every weekend. So un fin de semana contigo, uno con mis amigos, otro con mis hermanas, y así me la pasaba.
With Fabi and Freddie.
Yeah. Entonces, pues sí, now it's just like, haz de cuenta que right before my spiritual awakening, 2 or 4 years down the road, no, 2 years down the road, mis papás se dejan. Mm-hmm. My whole world shatters. I had another boyfriend at that time, my current boyfriend. So I was in a better place with my relationship.
Doing TikTok. What do you mean, my current boyfriend?
I know. I just mean like not the same one, a different one. Yeah, I was in a really good space in my relationship and romantically and with myself, but I still had a lot of growing to do. Y como siempre mis papás me quedaron con esa mentalidad de cuidar a mis hermanos y de eso y del otro. When my parents separated, yo sentía como que habían tirado todos los dulces de este bowl, and I had to like siempre tenerlos todos aquí para que no se fueran, you know. Mm-hmm. So, o que uno no se sintiera menos porque estabas allá y todos estábamos acá. So it was a struggle.
That was what truly broke you?
That was what truly broke me, is that I was trying to hold my family together, and in trying to hold adults together, que no me tocaba, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Because it was like, constant, like, queriendo cómo está mi papá, cómo está mi mamá, cómo están mis hermanos. O sea, ellos viviendo sus vidas, no como que estaban todos llorando en un cuarto, right? Pidiéndome que yo los
You were
cuidara.
just used to being that person.
I was used to always taking care of
You were that
everybody.
glue.
Mm-hmm. So, me di cuenta, I started, en ese momento estaba pasando through all this chaos of trying to make sure everybody was okay when nobody asked me to. And I feel like at around the same time you had started to have your spiritual awakening when I was feeling crazy. Y tú me empezabas a decir cosas about things that you were running across, right? Like realizing what the world really is. Talking about aliens, talking about the government, a bunch of different things. And in my head, I was like, esto ya es un caos. La otra única persona que me trae calma is talking to me about
Crazy
aliens.
Shit.
Like, what the fuck? I was like, I remember being in my room and like showing up on the video, and I was like, she's fucking crazy. I'm like, I don't even care what she's talking about, her flat earth. Leave me alone. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to make sure that my dad doesn't fall off the wagon, that my sister doesn't feel like nobody loves her, trying to take care of everybody but myself. And I remember my boyfriend in esa etapa, I feel like the relationship was still new, so we were still trying to like kind of get to know each other. So he
wouldn't try to like meterse mucho.
No, como que he would just be there. Siempre he would just always be there. But I feel like
I remember I would ask you, ¿qué te dice Juan? And you would be like, nada.
He wouldn't say anything. And I remember it was like una etapa que hubo un tiempo ya where he started telling me, like me empezaba como dices, a sembrar semillitas. Me decía, just worry about yourself, do something that makes, así empezó, like, do something that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to watch this talk show about these ladies who, just a daytime talk show. And one of the ladies was like talking about meditation. In every episode, she would talk about meditation. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. I remember one day I was at work with one of my coworkers, and I was like, hey, you wanna try meditating? And she was like, yeah, whatever. So I estábamos las dos, we worked in like the basement of the company, and so there was like nobody around us, right? Estábamos como en cubicles. Y she was in her cubicle, and it was dark because I don't know why it was dark, but it was dark. She was in her cubicle, I was in mine, and we just put our headphones in and we were meditating. Y en esos 10 minutos que meditaba sentía una paz y una calma que I feel like my heart and my mind and my body were screaming for. So I just started doing it slowly, y pues ahí empezó. Like when I started realizing that if I was going to be better, if I was going to be good, and en ese tiempo yo lo único que pensaba era buscar paz. Si yo iba a encontrar esa paz, yo necesitaba meditar. Todavía no entendía que tenía que dejar ir a mis hermanos, a mis papás, porque ellos ya están grandes y son responsables de sus vidas, en el sentido de que no preocuparme siempre por todos, y pero buscaba paz y en la meditación encontré paz.
Did you ever tell anybody
About how I was feeling?
About when you realized like that you had to do a change in your life? I feel like you told me, no?
I don't remember. We used to talk a lot. Yeah. So I feel like I don't remember what we used to talk about. I can't remember. This is crazy. And I feel like everybody must feel like this. Pero no me acuerdo de mi mentalidad before this. Antes no me acuerdo cómo dejaba que alguien me repitiera, que me hiciera lo mismo over and over, seguirme prometiendo lo mismo over and over que iba a cambiar, y yo aceptarlo. Como que 5, 6, 20, 100, 1000 veces me prometió lo mismo y nunca cambió. Y que yo seguía esperando que iba a cambiar. Like, no entiendo cómo yo esperaba de él que él cambiara. I don't know if he has till this day, but that's not for me to worry about anymore. Le deseo lo mejor. Y estoy muy agradecida con él por todo lo que me enseñó. But no me acuerdo.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had that too. That's what I put in mind too. Like that, there are things that I don't remember.
But my mentality in particular, I don't remember what I used to think. Like, I don't remember being on my phone all day and thinking it was okay. I don't remember going to sleep. I do remember, but no me acuerdo qué pensaba. Like, laying in bed, being on my phone all night right before I went to sleep.
Because you were trying to survive.
So, in flight or fight mode.
Yeah, because I went through the same thing.
Tell us about your awakening. What made you realize that you had to make a change?
Um, I feel like nobody really realized how bad, and I would tell you all the time how bad I was depressed.
I didn't until you told me the other day.
No? Yeah, I remember telling you like that I would hear voices in my head.
But I feel like it was never. I feel like it was very much this like, como que todos pensaban that you were just lazy.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody thought that
Everybody
I was
just
lazy.
thought you were lazy, and that was it. Nobody
Yeah.
thought that like
I was going through shit. Yeah, even my mom dude, le decía, she's like, hija, yo también pasé por eso, and like te lo tienes que quitar de la cabeza.
mm-hmm.
And like I would always say like, voy a ir a terapia. Like, ¿para qué? ¿Para qué vas a ir a terapia? But what made me break was I remember that I would always go through my pictures
Mm-hmm.
and like I would just sit there all day because I wouldn't do nothing. I would sit there on the couch. It was after I had Giovanni, who was a baby, and
He's now 4. He's got 5.
He's 5, yeah. So it was, and I mean, I barely had my spiritual awakening. Like what, 2? He was like 2, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like primero empiezas a hacer el cambio, ¿no? Y luego ya después despiertas, ¿no?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that's fine.
So I was going through my pictures, and like a lot of the times I would show Jorge, and I'd be like, I don't remember. I don't remember this. Like, when was this? Like, a lot of the, like, even when we would hang out, yo no me acordaba. Like,
actually, now you're mentioning that, in my old pictures, I have pictures of you that you sent me with the kids, and I veces las veo, and I'm like, what is that?
So, and that's when it really hit me because I felt like I just started getting distant from my kids. Like, I was there, but I was not there, you know? So, I just, like, I knew Giovanni was going to be my last kid. So, I felt like I had to be there, like, mentally more. So, I feel like that started bothering me, and like I just realized like there's just something in my head that's like not right. So when I started like seeing all these things about the aliens,
but like, did you just run across it one day on social media, or like what happened?
No, I feel like I've always believed in them, and I would always like run across like these people saying that they had the alien abductions and then like that they healed them and just a lot of things that like they claimed that changed their life. And I just dreamed with like for a while I dreamed like, oh, I'm gonna be abducted and I'm gonna be fixed. And I feel like siempre era lo que yo le pedía al universo, you know, like que viniera un extraterrestre y me llevara y me curara y me regresara. But then I like started coming across like other, because like the deeper you dig,
the more
stuff comes out. And then that's why I got into Dolores Canyon, because she started like doing all these hypnotherapies on people, and like how a lot of things were related, and how, you know, yeah, there's extraterrestrial life, but like it's not just like they're there for,
it's not like this
for, yeah,
this is not, yeah,
no, and there's like different,
I mean, I'm not bashing on your stick, no. It's beautiful. I just mean like this is what we think of. I don't know if aliens, you can see it. Yeah.
But just like how they're basically another like human species, you know,
like another frequency, or like another
well, I think,
or more elevated, more evolutionized,
and in both the way as they have more capability of remembering past lives, other planets, and coming back and forth from dimensions.
So both higher frequency and more evolutionized.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just like
that's how we understand it. Not that that's.
Yeah. And just how like they actually like help like to raise our frequency. Not that they're God, because I don't think that they're God. I think that they're just here to help because they've lived already so much, and they've seen so many like generations, so many, ¿cómo se dice? Like
lifetimes.
Sí, de nosotros, porque pues, yo pienso que ellos viven más años que nosotros. Y pues
como el video este que te mandé de las niñas where they're talking telepathically, vienen como de otro lugar a subir la vibración del planeta.
And that's what the people that Dolores Canyon does the hypnotherapy on, that's what they say, like when you go to, when the extraterrestrial life takes them, they can talk without talking, like
it's
se pueden ver uno al otro y hablarse. Y so that's what I really was into, and like I have a whole different mindset of like the way I came to my spiritual awakening than you do.
It was more for you, era más como que, like, igual no, era lo mismo, estabas en un lugar, como dijimos, ¿no? En un hoyo, at the bottom of a hole, todos viéndote y buscabas algo que te sacara de eso, de esa oscuridad.
Yeah, and well,
de esa noche oscura de tu alma.
Yeah, and then, well, I also wrote that, like, I feel like before then, también no me acuerdo de mucho, pero sí me acuerdo que siempre me decía, like, ¿por qué todo me pasa a mí? Like, I was worried about the wrong things all the time. Like, I was too focused on what Jorge was doing, and I was also too focused on, like, being there for my siblings instead of, like, being there for my relationship.
Or for yourself.
Or for myself. And, like, I just knew that I needed to, like, do something different for my life.
Can I interrupt you really quick?
Yeah.
So we had a conversation with my grandma not too long ago with her mom. And we were talking, we just like, I don't know, I just like to sit down and like ask questions, right? And we
especially because my mom is so open.
Yes. And I feel like also she doesn't maybe lie. She tells it to the best of her ability, right? How she remembers it.
Yeah.
I feel like we live similar lives. It's like my grandma lived through that, trying to control a man. I lived through that, trying to control a man. My mom lived through that. My aunts lived through that. We all live through the same trauma. El mismo patrón se repite y se repite hasta que decimos ya, hasta aquí, hasta aquí. Cut the bleed. So I just, en lo que estabas contando eso me di cuenta que like es lo mismo. O sea, en diferente, como te dije ahorita, en diferente extremidad, en diferentes polaridades, pero es lo mismo.
Y pues ahora, como ahora después de todo lo que he leído, entiendo que nosotros escogemos esta vida, pues yo lo veo como que hasta lo volvemos a repetir hasta que alguien diga hasta aquí. You know? Like, and
por ejemplo, que mi bisabuela, mi tatarabuela, bisabuela, tu mamá, tú y tus hijas, o sea, por ejemplo, no, o sea, sí, ¿no? Tú lo viviste como tu mamá lo vivió, como lo vivió su mamá, su mamá, su mamá. Hasta que ya dices.
Hasta que ya dices que ya no.
Pues es lo que es un patrón, ¿no? Hasta que tú quebras ese patrón.
Yeah.
Rompes.
Yeah, but my first step, I think, to do all of this was for my spiritual awakening. I think I like started getting really connected with nature. I remembered like vi un video que y antes era YouTube porque antes poní TikTok que decía que Dios estaba en el agua and like me llamaba mucho la atención like ir a las montañas oír el agua. And like even the other days when we were at the mountains, remember I was like, it sounds like the water's talking, like it's trying to say something. Like I don't know, and I believed that a lot back then because it was like we are so much % of water.
Yeah.
So like it only makes sense. But
can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So you're saying that si por ejemplo, en esta etapa que estamos hablando, no digo que sea tu mentalidad, you can clarify on that or not, but pensabas que el agua era Dios. Si hay agua en nosotros, piensas que Dios está en nosotros en esa agua. And that's crazy because for me, I don't think I ever thought water was God, pero también me pasó lo similar que I started hiking. One weekend we just went for a hike y me sentí like crazy. Like sentí, I've microdosed now, but back then I had not, and it felt like a microdose, because veía los árboles, pasaba, te juro, tengo una memoria, que so we went hiking, hay muchos árboles, ¿no? Pasó la luz así por el árbol, y estaba todo verde, y luego había una mariposita que venía volando, and I just remember that moment, sentí tanta paz y tanta esperanza de que la vida podía cambiar.
Y que iba a estar bien. That's what I felt too. Yeah, and I don't know, like now I do think different where I don't think that water is God. Like now I think that it's everywhere. He, she. I don't even think it's a he. I think it's just like an energy, you know? But now I don't think that. But
Pero yeah. ¿Cómo son esos momentos que te sentías just like desesperada? Because you were trying, again, to control everything around you. Like, not control your siblings, pero ayudarnos. Como dices, maybe help and control your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And well, for the difference was I don't have children and you do, but
And not necessarily control how he is as a person, but just like the drinking,
the
the
addiction.
addictions.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was like mostly worried about. Like que si yo no estaba, he was gonna make the wrong choice.
Like you didn't allow him to make the decision.
Yeah,
You would
to make the wrong.
assume
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that he was already going to do the bad. Ni esperanza le tenías que podía hacer la right decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Entonces te sentías igual, ¿no? Loca.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y en esa locura encontraste lo que fuera para sacarte de esa locura.
And it wasn't even like, it's not like I got over it that instant. Like I feel like just barely. Like even now, I'm barely getting over that too. But
you're working on it.
Yeah.
You're working on yourself.
But back then, I did realize like I need to worry more about me because if like para que todos estén bien, primero tengo que estar bien yo.
Mm-hmm. And it was a very like it was like very around the same. Would you say I don't know, but would you say it was around a similar time? Like it wasn't like yesterday and today, but it was maybe within the same year.
That me and you had that?
That like maybe you were going through that stuff of like feeling, porque si fue hace para ti es 5 años when Giovanni was born.
Yeah, but I didn't realize until, I don't know if he was like 1 or 2. When did your parents get separated?
Hace cuando yo y Juan right away when we got together, like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Este año yo y Juan cumplimos 5 años en agosto y mis papás se separaron como en octubre.
Yeah, so I had already been super depressed because nos dejamos yo y Jorge. And on top of that, I was still depressed from when I had Maddie because I never really healed it because me and Jorge weren't together and I had so much shit going on. But then when I had Gorda,
also, how old were you though?
17 when I had Maddie.
Just because that gives a lot of context.
Yeah,
it was the age.
And then when I had Marilyn, I feel like it was the same, and I just feel
you guys were also very young. So
yeah, we were young 20, and we were going through
20,
a lot.
21?
Yeah, no, when I had Marilyn, yeah, I was 20. So I feel like I never healed that. And then when me and Jorge got separated.
¿No sientes que aparte no te acabaste de madurar? Yeah. It was like you were 17, living life crazy, not crazy, but viviendo tu vida como debería de vivir una muchacha de 17 años and boom, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Y se derrumbó todo.
Well, I was pregnant at 16.
Oh, 16?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Entonces.
And so it was a dramatic change. But then when I had Marilyn, I was still depressed. And I feel like I didn't believe that I was. You know, and then when me and Jorge got separated, was even more depressed. So I'd never healed that. And then I had Giovanni and it got worse.
So it just se empalmó más y más.
So I honestly, I even think that I started to get into the whole alien stuff like even before I had Giovanni. Because I remember like thinking when I was going to give birth to Giovanni, like I can't get anything, like I don't want an epidural because I want to do this naturally because birth is like,
I think I do remember
like
that.
Super, like it's like no como glorious, but like es algo bonito que debes de sentir el dolor.
I knew that since you had Maddie, dude. I remember. This is kind of a side note, but I remember when you had Maddie. I didn't really.
She was there, by the way.
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah.
But I remember, dude. It was the craziest thing. O sea, todos tienen niños, pero en mi mente de niña, que we talked about that. I was a child. When I saw that, sentí algo que ahora que lo pienso is very similar to what I feel now when I meditate or whatever. Sentí una conexión like cabrona, like it was like I don't
bonita.
know. Yeah, lloré.
I remember you guys cried. Yeah. Everybody was crying, and I was like,
so beautiful.
I'm thirsty.
It was so beautiful, and you were hungry because no te dejaban comer. Okay, sorry. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways,
you wanted to have that natural birth because you were seeking cosas más naturales.
Yeah. So I guess I did have it before Giovanni. Not my spiritual awakening, though. That happened way after.
Pero me refiero a que en el momento que tú dijiste me voy a salir de este hoyo was similar when you realized you had to make a change.
What do you mean?
Cuando dijiste tengo que hacer un cambio, it was it around the similar, maybe within the same year span? Maybe you had more of an expanded consciousness en el sentido que creías en cosas más fuera de lo normal o conspiracy theories. Pero es when you actually felt like you needed to.
Yeah, I feel like it was around the similar time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like we kind of already talked about Us Our Spiritual Awakening, like.
Yeah. Pero I want you to talk a little bit more in depth. Like, ¿qué sentiste ahora with your most recent? Porque yo tengo esta mentalidad y dime si tú piensas lo mismo. Nunca nos dejamos de sanar. Son cosas en la vida que se van a repetir. Vas a seguir dándote cuenta de diferentes cosas que en ti tienes que sanar. Entonces, entre más sanas, más you raise your frequency more. But also you have to, I feel like, practice a lot being in the moment to elevate your frequency, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
Pero siento que estas noches oscuras que tienes, porque siento que recientemente tuviste otra, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
Hace que como
like 3 weeks.
No, girl. I'm talking about la última, the last one.
Oh, okay.
Which was like at the end of last year, ¿no? Like
yeah.
in the winter of last year,
mm-hmm.
some point.
Mm-hmm.
¿Sí, no?
Yeah.
Entonces,
that one was hard. I feel like I've never spent as much like time by myself as that time.
Pero yo creo que ahí es donde de veras te encuentras, ¿no? Like being by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because I've never, like, before I feel like nobody knew. So what I was going through, and like this time I feel like everybody knew. Like I didn't really have nowhere to hide. So I just stayed home in my bed.
¿Sientes que esta última noche oscura que tuviste fue más fuerte que las otras en el sentido de que cambiaste más? ¿Hubo más cambios en ti? No en tu vida,
like,
en ti.
Like it even made me quit my job. Remember? Because I was working with you and I just couldn't, like, and it was crazy to me that nobody else realized like all the bad, because I just went through a lot. Like me acuerdo que llegaba a la casa y me iba directo a mi cama.
I feel like the office you worked at was
crazier.
I feel like it was just a lot.
Yeah, but I just remember like, and honestly, I didn't like even go towards like meditating, because I'm not a big meditator. So like I actually learned that from you. But I'm just more of like lo que pienso, lo que digo se hace realidad, and like me enfoqué mucho en de que tenía que ser, que si quería cambiar yo, like lo que está alrededor de mí, tenía que cambiar yo, mis pensamientos, tenía que like understand que todo pasa porque tiene que pasar. Like yo escogí esta vida antes de venir al mundo. So like yo tenía que pasar por esto porque me iba a hacer crecer como persona. So I had to go through what I went through.
To be alone.
Yeah, so that I can learn to be by myself, so that I can learn to love myself more. Because I feel like before, I wouldn't really like care,
about doing things for you.
For me. And now I do more. And I feel like it also helped my relationship, because I just realized a lot of things. But
como es adentro es afuera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like at the same time, I kind of went through something myself, and it was crazy because this is where and I don't know if this. So I did therapy with this girl. She's on social media. She's awesome. Her name's Luz Ariane, and I did some therapy with her around the time that you were going through your stuff, and I feel like I went through a very similar thing in a different way. I feel like we were both, because you decided to take that time for yourself, I was forced to be by myself, because siento que antes de eso we had a very toxic relationship, en el sentido de que we were in contact 24/7.
We would wake up and we were already talking.
Y siento que nunca nos dábamos el espacio, nunca nos quedábamos nada. Me echaba un pedo y tú sabías. I pooped yellow and you knew. I pooped purple and you knew. Like, you know what I mean? Nunca nos dábamos espacio, we never held anything for ourselves. So siento que me forzó a mí también, and it made me look at myself, because I was like, fuck, what am I? Porque siento que I took it very personal when you were kind of like, I need space.
Yeah, you were like, at least tell me if you're okay.
Well, because
like, well, I don't want to tell you. Leave me alone.
No, well, it's because it's because communication sometimes is not our strong suit.
But I couldn't like communicate. You know, I was going through shit.
And that's exactly what I had to understand in that moment. Pero era como que I had asked you something and it was just like you didn't answer. And in that moment, I didn't know. I knew what was happening, but I didn't know what you were going through personally. So inside, right? So I was kind of like, "Are you okay? Like you haven't answered me in like a day or two."
Hazme señas de humo.
Yeah, I was like, "Hazme señas de humo if you're okay." And you were like, "I just need space." And I was like, "What the fuck? You need space? Like what the fuck is space? What is that?" And so yeah, and me acuerdo que Juan me dijo, he was like, "It's not about you." He's like, "It's about her." Because he always checks me, dude. He always fucking checks me. He's like, because I'll be all the time, right? Yo acá, es que no se trata de ti. Si esa persona se trata así es porque there's something wrong within them. Yo acá no siempre el ego espiritual is something I need to work on, but he just looked at me. He was like, "It's not about you. Como siempre dices, like, don't take it personal." And I'm like, "Oh, damn, okay." And I did take it personal, and it hurt my feelings. But como pasó el tiempo, I started going to therapy with that girl, and other things started happening in my family. Y me di cuenta que it wasn't about me. And it honestly was actually kind of nice because I feel like it helped us set boundaries to like now, if you don't answer me, I'm not like, "Oh my God, why isn't she answering me?" I'm like, "Ah, that's fine. She's probably doing something." Or she doesn't want to answer. And if she doesn't want to answer, like it's not the end of the damn world. Like she's allowed to not answer. But I feel like it helps set very healthy boundaries.
Yeah, it did.
But how did you feel, I guess? ¿Cómo te sentías? I guess explain emotions. Tell me an emotion you felt when you were in that hole.
Well, I know I've told you this before, like because even recently, I felt scared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was weird. It felt like I was kind of shedding my skin.
Yeah.
It's like hasta like me acuerdo que.
But scared's not an emotion. That's a feeling.
Yes, it is an emotion.
It's a feeling. An emotion is like love. Wait, is fear an emotion? Yeah, it is. That way.
Fear is an emotion.
What's that movie? With the
emojis.
No, the one that's about the feelings that is in like the little girl's head. It's like anxiety, depression, love, joy. I don't know. Maybe you haven't watched. It's a little
with
kid.
The purple hair.
Yeah. That she's happy.
That she's.
¿Cómo se llama? Joy. A is Joy, no? The one with the purple hair. And she's yellow. Yeah, that's Joy.
I don't know.
But I don't think fear is in there. I don't know if fear is an emotion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be wrong. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
But
an emotion. Well, I was sad.
You were sad?
I would cry every day. Like I would wake up crying. I would go to sleep crying. I would be in lunch crying all the time. I don't know.
Y en el trabajo les valía madre que estuviera llorando.
Well, they never saw me.
But you can tell when somebody's been crying.
Yeah. Actually, Melissa, one time she asked me, she's like, "Are you okay?" Then I just le dije, like, me inventé. Yeah.
So you just were sad.
Yeah, I was always sad.
Were you lonely or not lonely?
Well, not my kids were like always there, but like I wasn't there. Like I was just like, leave me alone. But I did feel lonely, but I actually enjoyed it. I feel like for the most part, when I'm sad or when I'm mad, I always want to be by myself. Because otherwise I like say the wrong things, you do the wrong things.
Or hurt people's feelings.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. I used to do that. I used to break shit. And I don't want to do that anymore. And I don't want to show my kids that. So I just like me aparto. I feel like Madeline understands a lot. So like I sí le digo, and I'm just like, I just need time. And she's like, "Okay, Mom," and she'll scratch my back.
That's beautiful though. No, that's beautiful because you're teaching her that it's okay to give people space. And maybe she doesn't need space when she's upset, but she'll understand in the future.
If others do.
Yeah. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, and I feel like she does the same thing. Like now, también she used to like rip shit and break shit, and now she just goes to her room. She'll stomp there, but she'll, instead of like standing there and yelling and crying, and she'll just leave. Which is good.
It is good. I feel like I don't think there's a way to do it. That works for you, whatever works for whoever. If you need to throw and break shit, as long as you're not like hurting others or whatever.
Oh yeah, I never hurt anybody.
So I feel like it's okay. As long as I think in a sense you mean like maybe you broke your phone because you were pissed or whatever, right? Yeah. Or your Apple Watch, whatever. But if you if you need to break a couple plates that are old when you're mad, y eso haces, bien para ti, Guarda
or
tus
I would
platitos.
waste money.
Sí, me acuerdo. I remember.
Yeah, dude, I would just go online and like shop and buy shit.
You know what's crazy, dude? I used to do the same thing. Like cuando me no como que I would do it out of rage, pero cuando me sentía, like cuando sentía ese vacío, cuando estaba sola, I would just like go online and like add a bunch of stuff to my cart. I would go on back then before Shein. I used to go on like this app called Boohoo. I would go on Boohoo or me metía. I don't even know what I used to go on, but I remember I used to go online and just add a bunch of stuff to my cart. A veces las compraba, a veces no, but
I feel like I always did. One, to make Jorge mad. He'd be like, "Dang, you owe how much? Like $30,000. Do you care? You're gonna pay for it. Not $30,000, but
yeah.
like siempre gastaba muchas cosas y cosas like que ya ni sé ni dónde están. Like compré muchos zapatos, güey. Mandé a hacer like personalized like Vans, and like when we moved over here, I remember que se nos rompió una pipe del agua y se mojó toda la caja. And we didn't know que se había mojado. Y dude, se hicieron like todos feos, and it all went to the trash.
Yeah, it's okay.
And on like Converse, Vans.
It's okay.
And you know how I had like all colors of Vans and Converse. They all went to the trash. But it's okay. En el momento, it healed me.
It's okay because en el momento no entendías. Y a eso me refiero a esa mentalidad de antes. Like, ahora no me puedo ver. I don't even shop online. Sometimes on Amazon when I actually need something that I can't find in a store. But even before, like, a veces when I was...
Okay, Mrs., I ordered it already.
Well, because my Amazon membership was about to expire and it's actually come very handy because I've been doing other videos. But I actually wanted one because a veces when I do, like, my baking videos and stuff, I tengo Juan, so it just... It made sense. Yeah. If it wouldn't have made sense, I wouldn't have bought it. And I feel like I do that now. I give myself more time. Like, if I want, I don't know, like, this was $20. But if I want something, like, expensive, I'm like, okay, espero a couple months. But back then I even used to go to the stores. Me iba al Ross, del Ross al Ulta. Y a veces no compraba nada because I didn't used to have a lot of money because I wasn't very financially stable. Pero me iba del Ross al Walmart, like, Target, everywhere. Just store in store.
I still do that sometimes.
See, I hate being in the store, dude. I can't stand it.
No, well,
it overstimulates me so much.
I feel like I don't buy stuff, but I just like to go from store to store.
See?
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the topic. I feel like okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I felt. You didn't ask me, but I'm gonna tell you. I felt
well, we're talking about it.
I felt like you're like, I don't have to ask you, answer it. Me sentía, ¿cómo me sentía? Let me express this. This is how I write in my journal. Maybe one day I'll let you read one of my less dark journal entries.
No, I would not let you read mine.
I don't know if I would, but I'm saying maybe I could find one that's nice, not dark. But this is how I write in my journal. It's literally.
I think I'm gonna commit suicide if you would read mine.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
No, mine's not that dark. For me, it's very like. En el momento me sentí sola, me sentí como que mi mundo se había derrumbado, como que nadie me entendía, no hablaba contigo, estaba peleada con uno de mis hermanos. Mi otra hermana vive en mi hermana, la que estuvo conmigo cuando me separé de mi primera pareja, vive en Utah. Mi hermana, la más chiquita, es una niña, tiene 19 años.
No es una niña.
Era una niña, pero no, es en los últimos meses, en esta última vez.
I always see her like a baby too, though.
Pero no see her like a baby, pero o sea, ella anda en otro mundo, anda con sus amigas, yo me pongo a platicarle de estas cosas and she's like, okay, Sandy, whatever. Pero, y mi otro hermano andaba en sus pedos.
You know why? Because you've always handled everything for her.
Yeah, I know that. And entonces me sentí completamente sola y me sentí como que cuando estuve sola, algo que no conté, que cuando me junté con esa primera pareja, mis papás estuvieron completamente opuestos, entonces me dejaron de hablar por 2 años. Estuve
So that
sola.
was hard. No, you had me.
Espérame, estuve sola porque mis hermanos no me podían hablar, porque mis papás no lo dejaban, porque todavía estaban, o sea, mi hermano tenía 17 años, el que me sigue, y todos más chicos. Entonces, la familia de mi mamá me hablaba, pero no me procuraba. La familia de mi papá, la verdad, no me acuerdo si me procuraban o no. No me acuerdo. Mi tío, el que le es más grande que ella, él sí me visitaba de vez en cuando. Y, o sea, sí me procuraban, hablaba con ellos, pero no era lo mismo estar metida en ese mundo. Y la persona que siempre estuvo ahí, aparte de mi abuelo, porque mi abuelo, el papá de mi mamá, siempre estuvo ahí, me dio un carro, me ayudó mucho, mi abuelo, cuando mis papás no estuvieron ahí. Aparte de él, siempre estuviste tú. Entonces, en esta otra noche oscura que tuve, mis hermanos estaban todos en sus pedos, mi papá y mi mamá en su vida de adolescente. ¿Cómo dicen chiquirrucos o what's that word? It's like, I don't know,
pero andaban de quinceañeros porque
sí,
andaban recién divorciados.
Sí, no recién, pero pues sí. Entonces, no tenerte a quién le contaba que mi hermano no le hablaba, a quién le contaba de que mi otro hermano andaba con lo que andaba, me sentía como que me odiaba, sentía como que yo que hice, yo siempre la he apoyado, nunca le he juzgado. Why is she doing this?
Because you didn't tell me. That's why I was mad. I was like, nobody told me.
Oh, I know. But yeah. I didn't feel like it was my information
because
to share.
I felt like I had made such a big decision that I could avoid it, like buying a house and all that. Like, and I felt like, dang, like I could have.
Pero es tu vida que tú elegiste.
Yeah, I know. Well, now I know after I went through that, but at that moment, like, no sabía qué sentir.
Te entiendo que te molestaste, pero a la vez, si alguien a mí me dice, te voy a contar algo, pero no lo digas, te lo pido, te lo suplico que no abras la boca. I was just like, okay, it's not my story to tell.
Our family, we've all gone, like, todos nos decimos, no nos digas, y siempre se dice. So yo, like, y no te digo que ahorita estoy enojada porque ya lo pasé, ya lo viví, ya lo superé. Pero in that moment, like, I truly felt betrayed, to be honest, with everybody. Not just with you, with everybody.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair for you to have felt that way because your feelings are always valid. Y entiendo por qué te sentías así. Porque yo le decía a Juan, when I found out, I told Juan, I'm like, this and this and this happened. What do you think? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, I was told not to share, but like, it's Yolanda. How am I not going to share? And he was kind of like, it's up to you. He's like, pero yo te voy a decir algo. He was like, it's not your information to share. He's like, if it comes from somebody, it needs to come from that person. He's like, tú no te metas en medio. He's like, you're just going to be pulled into it, and that's not necessary.
Yeah.
So la pensé, yeah, and then I was like, okay, you're always right, so I'm just going to what I say. But sí me sentí culero, and I'm glad that you tell me that, because now it makes me feel like I'm not crazy, because I did feel like you were mad at me, but it's not like it was in.
But I didn't want to tell you that because, like, back then, because I knew I was wrong, because I also, like, really, really knew that, like, I had to live it, honestly. And I'm like, I can't put it on her, like, on anybody.
You had to sit with the anger, you had to sit with
So I feel like that's why I just decided to be away, because I was just like, it's nobody's fault, but mine.
It's not your fault. I don't think, let me say this, es una experiencia, ¿no? Como estabas platicando que lo de ya venimos a vivir esta vida, la elegimos, ¿no? De la manera que a mí me la explicó la muchacha con la que hago terapia, es de que hacemos contratos. So, tú eliges tu familia y dices, papá, tú vas a ser mi papá, yo voy a ser tu hija, tú vas a ser alcohólico, tú vas a tener problemas de adicción, vas a provocarme estos traumas para yo sanarlos. Y dicen que esa es la única responsabilidad que tienen los papás. Venir a este mundo a traumarnos, o sea, no estoy diciendo que fue tu papá, ¿verdad? Pero haces estos contratos de vida con estas personas y they're gonna trigger something in you para que tú lo sanes. So es algo
So I
que,
understand that now.
pero en el
En el
time,
momento no lo hacía. Por eso pienso que that was like my second biggest awakening.
tu segunda noche oscura más grande.
Yeah.
Siento que siempre es más difícil, ¿no? Cuando te está pasando a ti que tú lo entiendes. O sea, se te derrumba el mundo y no que digo que porque yo no, pero como que no entiendes y no ves fuera del problema y de las emociones.
And that's what my mom would tell me, because yo le decía y yo le lloraba. And she was like, si no vas a cambiar cómo estás viviendo, like, ¿para qué te estás mortificando? And she's like, I just remember she told me, she's like, and we never know, like, what really happened. She's like, maybe it was a mistake, maybe they interpreted it.
Se interpretó incorrectamente.
Yeah. And I was just like, okay. And she was like, if you want to stay here, because I just didn't know. I couldn't think straight, I think.
Es a lo que me refiero, que cuando lo estás pasando, no ves, like en ese
no ves la realidad.
En esos momentos yo solo veía mis emociones. Eso es el ego. A mí me lastimaron, a mí me están provocando. Yo no tengo la culpa porque yo no fui involucrada porque yo, you know what I mean? Entonces, siento que eso siempre pasa. O sea, como que te cierras y no ves lo que realmente, lo que es la realidad por tus emociones. Y eso es lo que es ser humano. That emotion.
Kind of fucked up.
That's what we come here for, ¿no?
Yeah.
A sentir. That's something else my therapist told me. She said, she was like, enójate. She's like, llora. She's like, because I always tell her, I'm like, I cry a lot. I'm like, a veces, I'm like, de niña mi mamá siempre me decía, no estás llorando. And
¿Qué ganas con llorar?
And I'm like, ahora de grande, mi novio no me dice que no llore, pero a veces como que se incomoda how easy it is for me to just cry. No que I'm just sitting there and I'm like, voy a llorar, I'm gonna start crying. Pero en el sentido de que how easily I can get emotional. Sí.
I'm the same way. I'm as sensitive.
How
like
easy.
If I see somebody crying, I cry.
I don't think I'm that emotional.
No, I am.
But yo me refiero al sentido de que, bueno, no, that's not what I meant to say. A mí no me provoca ver a alguien llorar, pero me provoca mucho ver a alguien sufrir. Yeah. Entonces, si alguien está llorando, I'm just kind of like, okay, and sometimes I don't know what to do. Pero ella me dijo, she's like, llora, haz lo que tengas que hacer. She's like, de eso se trata la vida. She's like, cuando se acabe esta vida, she's like, ya no hay emociones. She's like, es bonito. She's like, sentir es bonito, enojar es bonito, llorar es bonito, sentir hasta celos, porque algo aprendes de eso. Algo te viene a provocar.
And I do want to say that I think being sad, being like desilusionada, or like, ¿cómo se dice? Like decepcionada, es más cabrón que estar enojada. Like, yo me acuerdo como el sentimiento que sentía en mi pecho, en el estómago, en la cabeza. Like, nunca lo había sentido como lo sentí esa vez, and like, I remember like I used to get really angry all the time and I used to cry and cry, but it didn't compare, I feel. Do you feel like you've been angry more o has sentido decepción más? Más decepción, pero no en ese instante, pero en tu vida. En lo largo de tu vida has sentido más el enojo. Más enojo. A lo mejor por eso te incomoda tanto because you're not used to feeling disappointed. Are you a person que esperas mucho de la gente, or you're just kind of like, nah, I'm not even going to expect this from you? Well, it's because I have a really big mentality of you treat people the way you want to be treated. So I treat people, yo pienso que yo siempre me porto bien con la gente, so I don't expect less from them, you know? So, like, siento que siempre me enojaba porque, como te lo he dicho a ti, like, siempre, like, ¿por qué si yo, que estoy más chica que tú, like, entiendo las cosas y hago las cosas bien, ¿por qué tú no puedes? So, like, siempre fue más coraje, siempre fue como a Jorge siempre le reclamaba, tú que tenías a tus dos papás, yo que nomás con mi mamá, like, yo hago las cosas mejor que tú, like, I feel like a lot of it was just angry, like, entiende, like, que los quería agarrar and, like, you know. So for the most part, I wouldn't even be disappointed. I feel like now, I think after I had this last awakening, I don't get angry anymore, me decepciono, porque ahora entiendo que cada quien va a hacer las cosas pues como piensa que están bien, y ahora me decepciono más, creo que más conmigo misma, porque I'm like, ¿por qué tienes, why do you expect things from people if you know, like, we're here for different things, like, you stay on your lane and let them stay on their lane. So
I'm gonna tell you something. The same thing happened to me. I feel like this last time. Ahora sí me enojo, sí me a veces digo, ay, ¿por qué? And then I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
yeah,
No. Like it's crazy, dude. In my mind, it's like, let me think of this. Let me think of when I got mad last. I don't know. Let's say I got mad at Juan because he forgot. I can't remember. I can't think with this light in my face. Let's pretend. Let's pretend I got mad at Juan because he didn't wash the dishes or because he didn't hug me good night or whatever. Right? Me enojo con él y me da un coraje y no le quiero hablar y lo quiero ignorar para que él sienta el enojo que yo siento, but then I'm like, whoa, no, ¿de qué se trata esto? Esto no se trata de Juan, esto se trata de mí. ¿Qué me faltó a mí de niña? ¿Qué me faltó a mí en mi vida, en la que pasó, en la que, en whatever vida me pasó a mí que tengo que sanar, que esto no es justo? Y antes, te puedo decir que antes de que esto pasara, yo me enojaba con Juan y me volteaba y no le hablaba en la noche. Like, I would be pissed at him and I wouldn't talk to him the whole night. No duraba días enojada con él. Creo que he doesn't allow that, but like not in the sense like you're not allowed to be mad, pero en el sentido de que he's like, let's fix this.
Yeah.
Pero ahora es más rápido para mí reflexionar y entender que no es problema de nadie más que mío. Entonces, te entiendo, and it's crazy because when I was doing the therapy with that girl, right? I keep talking about this, but it's just because aprendo mucho de ella. Estoy muy agradecida con ella. Yo le platicaba cosas de mi hermano. Cuando le platiqué mucho de mi hermano, pues fue cuando estuvimos enojados. Y me decía, literalmente, un día le mensajé en la noche, como a las 8, porque me dijo, she's like, no me veas como una persona acá. She's like, si tienes una pregunta, mándame un mensaje, whatever. So, quiero ser más que nada tu amiga, whatever, right? So I texted her one night, and I was like, ¿tienes un minuto para preguntarte algo? And she was like, ¿qué pasó? And I was like, está pasando algo con mi hermano. I'm like, y no entiendo qué tengo que aprender y no entiendo qué hacer. I was like, traigo mucha emoción, te estoy mensajeando porque me siento perdida. And she was like, espérame un minutito. And she called me. I usually do pay for the therapy sessions, so it's it's a charge. Pero esa vez she just called me. And she was like, me acaba de pasar esto con mi hermano. Y siento que algo similar te estaba pasando a ti. Ella me dijo, she was like, somos espejos. She's like, muchas de las veces, she's like, la gente que está alrededor de ti está viviendo lo mismo. Por ejemplo, de repente estamos yo y tú platicando de mamá, de papá, de whatever, y le hablo a mi amiga, my actual best friend, le hablo and I'm like, hey, whatever, we talk, and she's like going through the same exact thing in a different way.
Yeah, that's happened to me too.
So it's crazy. It's crazy, but ya se me olvidó what I was trying to.
No manches.
What I was trying to get at, but I just feel like it's it's fucking crazy how connected. Do you believe in coincidences?
And yeah, I do. Like, I believe that everybody's in your life for a reason.
Yes.
So
there's a reason for everything. There's no coincidences.
Yeah, there's no
Nada pasa por casualidad. Todo pasa por alguna razón.
Yeah.
Entonces, yeah. So
no hay mal que por bien no venga, dijo mi mamá.
I feel like that pretty much covers that topic.
Yeah, I do too.
¿Cómo ves?
No, because we didn't.
Yeah, that's the next one.
That's the next one.
Yeah. ¿Cómo ves a las personas, las culpas? ¿Esperas que entiendan lo que entiendes? ¿Entiendes por qué piensan y actúan como lo hacen? Where do you want to start?
I feel like ya no las culpo. Antes sí lo hacía.
I think we just actually transitioned it beautifully. That's just how God works.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. No las culpo. Antes lo hacía porque yo de niña siempre
Culpabas.
Yo analizaba mucho las cosas.
Mm.
Yo siempre veía que mi mamá pues era muy trabajadora, estaba sola y yo siempre quería, no siempre tomaba las decisiones, like I didn't always do the right thing, but I feel like I always had the right mindset where like came here illegally, she worked so hard and then like people would just fuck shit up for her, you know?
Siento que es una mentalidad que tenemos todos los hijos de un inmigrante, que nuestros papás vinieron aquí para darnos mejor vida, entonces siento que para ti era en esa forma, para mí era que para mis papás era muy importante que nosotros, fuera lo que estuviera pasando en nuestra vida, la escuela primero.
La escuela primero. Yeah, so yo siempre culpaba a la gente, culpaba like hasta a mis hermanos, like más porque siempre pues
tienen problemas con adicción, entonces,
a lot of the times, like, it was a lot of pressure put on my mom, and like, ¿por qué nos dejó? Porque a lot of those things, and like, I don't know, I felt like I would also blame my mom, you know, back then.
For different reasons.
Different reasons,
pero por lo mismo igual, porque ellos se sentían abandonados porque ella se vino ella primero para darles mejor futuro vida. Y para podérselos traer. Y entonces tú, porque ella siempre estaba trabajando, también también te sentías abandonada.
Sí, yo siempre la culpaba, pero pues ahora no la culpo, ahora la entiendo. Y pues no espero que otros entiendan lo que yo entiendo, porque ahora yo sé que todos vivimos pues vidas diferentes y que todos vamos a realize things at a different rate. Like not everybody's going to be ready when I'm ready. And maybe they won't be ready in this life, maybe in another one, cuando regresen y pueden volver a regresar y a lo mejor no van a agarrar la onda, pero
y hay almas, no es mi pedo. Y hay almas nuevas, hay almas, there's younger, almas nuevas, es una manera que la puedo explicar. Entonces hay gente que a lo mejor ya ha vivido más vidas y por eso puede entender cosas de otra manera. Y hay gente que va llegando a este pedo, a este juego y pues no le toca entender todavía. So it's not up to us to be. Y te digo que a veces sí quiero, I want to push people, and I feel like I've gotten better at that though, because now, well, I guess with my sisters. No, with my sisters, siento que siempre I'm always pushing an agenda with them. I'm always sending stuff to them, but I don't expect them to be like, tomorrow call me and tell me like, well, te voy a decir algo, I'm not putting that into the universe. Ellas son capaces de mucho y yo creo que I'm not putting that on them. Ellas pueden cuando y como quieran. Pero no lo hago con la intención de que mañana me hablen y me digan que ya meditaron y que ven a Dios y que sienten a Dios. Yo lo hago solo con la intención de que pues vean uno cómo pienso y dos, plantarle la semilla. How you say?
Yeah. ¿Y entiendes por qué piensan y actúan como lo hacen?
Yes, es algo con lo que quiero trabajar también porque algo que yo siempre, como dices que you're very analytical, que siempre analizas las cosas, yo lo hago, no sé si sea de esta manera, pero I always try to understand people. Siempre trato de ver a la gente y decir,
an empath.
Entender por qué son de la manera que son. Y ahí me ha funcionado, pero pienso que también puede llegar a un extremo de que me obsesiono y tengo que entender, estoy tratando de entender que no siempre voy a entender. I won't always have an answer. But I always try to understand, like, cómo creciste, cómo fue tu mamá, cómo fue tu papá, para entender por qué ellos son como son y así ya no culparlos. ¿Me entiendes? No, si alguien me...
Y no necesariamente no culparlos, sino para entender por qué son como son.
Yes.
Pero yo pienso diferente. Y yo pienso que sí los entiendo y sí me pongo a pensar, en a analizar en por qué, porque a veces te pregunto a ti, like, ¿tú por qué piensas que esta persona es así? Porque I feel like you do that more than I do. But I just have to understand, y no me gusta estresarme, como si una persona es como es, no me quiero poner a pensar en cómo fue su infancia, porque I'm very much of like, very an empath, I'm very much of an empath, and I feel like me estreso cuando me pongo a pensar en las cosas.
It is stressful.
So yo no trato de analizar esa parte, yo solamente digo, ¿sabes qué? I'm not going to take it personal, because you went through shit, like, that I don't understand, I don't want to know, but like that's the life you chose. Like I stress a lot about like kids that have the wrong parents.
Oh, I don't like to think about
and
that.
I that's why I don't like to think about it.
Yeah, that's something I've had to. That's one. I do that, pero trato de no hacerlo también porque es.
So por eso muchas de las veces pienso que también mi mamá a veces como no se enoja, pero se siente como que no quiero a la gente, pero pues yo nada más no quiero vivir esa vida donde estoy viendo cosas que no quiero ver, porque, like, since I am the way I am, I'm sensitive to things like that, and then I'm gonna lose my sleep.
Vas a estar ahí estresada y llorando y pensando que la persona pudiera tener mejor vida, pero no. Y te digo algo, yo hago eso mucho because I've had 2 miscarriages. I said earlier I don't have children. I don't have living children. I've had 2 miscarriages. Entonces a veces me ponía a pensar, ya no tengo esta mentalidad.
Like people that don't deserve kids have.
I'm like, ¿cómo esa persona y yo no? Pero ahora entiendo que me va a llegar cuando me va a llegar. Le agradezco mucho a mis hijos que me hayan enseñado lo que me enseñaron y lo que me trajeron. But I don't know. I used to think the same way though. Like, fuck, like why that person and not me?
And me especially, like, knowing how much I love my kids, and how, like, I don't want them to experience, like, quisiera poder protegerlos, like, have them in this bubble, and like just thinking that somebody can be like unfair or like just mean, like, I don't know, just doesn't fit in my head.
Yeah, entiendo.
But
y es algo, creo que es algo también que es bonito, like, because en eso ya comprendemos que podemos controlar nuestros thoughts. We can control our thoughts. You're not always in control of your thoughts, but you can snap back and be like, whoa, I can't control this thought and I'm not going to think about it porque no puedo hacer nada al respecto y lo único que voy a causar va a ser estrés en mí. Y no merezco estresarme sobre algo que no tengo.
Yeah, like I can't stress about somebody not wanting to be with their kids. Like as long as I'm with my kids, like that's what matters.
Yeah, no, and you're right.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I don't know. I just feel like we're all human, and I also really hard try not to judge people. I think that's also why I try to understand them because I don't want to judge them. I don't want to sit here and think, ay, esa que es algo también que ya me tiene hasta aquí. Literally, lately, I just can't stand people like, esta persona, ay, la vi el otro día y está bien gorda. Esta persona, I'm just like, I don't care.
I'm fat, that just means I eat good.
Like, I don't know, like, I don't care, like, I don't know, but siento que no es bueno, nada gana uno con juzgar a la gente, like, nada, no te hace más flaca, no te hace más bonita, juzgarle a alguien que no tiene butt doesn't make your butt bigger, and I feel like it also has a lot to do with what you consume. Si te la pasas viendo shows where they're judging people or where te voy a decir algo, me and Juan are watching the show right now. It's a reality TV show. It's called Love Island, and it's like a dating show. We've been watching it for like since I think Sunday or Saturday, no me acuerdo. And I feel my frequency changing when I watch that show because it's like super toxic.
That's why I don't like watching TV, dude.
Oh, and I love watching TV. I love watching lighthearted stuff. I love watching cosas que me hacen sentir bonito, a veces cosas que me provocan, like damn, mind-provoking TV. Pero I feel like that's something we bond over, trash reality TV, but it changes my frequency. La música también. I
can only listen to old music, I feel.
I don't, lately, dude, I used to listen a lot to this, like, no sé si los has escuchado. I think they're very like famous on TikTok. Ed Maverick or Kevin Crowe. Dile ya a tus papás que no vas a regresar. They're this very, very mellow music. It's very beautiful music. Pero no puedo ya escucharla, dude. It just, I listen to it y me siento toda like.
That's why I just listen to Conjunto Primavera or
I
Los
can't.
Temerarios.
I can't. There's this one artist, se llama, ¿cómo se llama? Amor.
He's sleeping.
No, he's not. He's playing this game. I can hear the remote. Dreadmar. Like dreadlocks? Dreadmar. Como el sí, Dreadmar. And he sings like reggae music. And there's this one song, I don't know if I sent it to you. Se llama ¿Qué me vas a decir a mí? Or like algo así. And he's talking about being awake. He's like, el amor, todo lo que falta en este mundo, lo único que tienes que hacer es despertar. Oh, fuck, dude. When I heard that song, because Juan likes him a lot. Because his parents listen to reggae music. Y un día la tenía tocando, and I was listening to it, and I was like, do you realize what he's talking about? And he's like, oh. And I was like, he's talking about having a spiritual awakening. I was just like, oh, I love finding stuff like that, dude, because that chills in my body.
Nah, Jenny Rivera gives me chills. See, that's why I feel like you're more in touch with this stuff. Like, you feel you can do like the, what is that you did? The pills thingy?
Oh, microdosing?
Microdosing. I can't do that. I feel like I myself, like, I feel like I connect too much. I feel like I have a very powerful connection.
But
like,
why are you scared of it?
Scared of it? I don't know. Because I feel like I don't need it. Because te digo que when I do meditate, when I do put myself into feeling this frequency that I'm going into, siento ese miedo que I feel like it's already like a microdose.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the microdose, but I'm talking about, I know why you don't do it. Y te voy a decir algo, I feel like I was very pushy with it for a little bit, and I think I just realized recently que I need to stop because I was watching that girl that I watched, and she did some type of assisted meditation with some kind of drug, and she doesn't talk about it because she said in one of the ones that she did, se le cruzó something in her brain, and she said que duró high for like 5 days.
Oh,
so she said that she doesn't like to share it because she feels like que si es para ti te va a llegar, y si no, so I don't want to do that anymore. I want to stop pushing an agenda with the microdose. Yeah. But I don't mean the microdose. I mean, porque maybe I misunderstood what you said, pero dijiste que you're scared. Yeah.
Of meditating?
Mm-hmm.
No, just
why don't you want to connect?
I do meditate, and like when I meditated with the girls though, that really scared me porque te digo que
but that's beautiful though.
Me vi yo like como si yo fuera algo grande, and like ellas estaban ahí conmigo, but like it was kind of like a gray dark room. Mm-hmm. And like I just like felt this like ring of light around me. Mm-hmm. And like my heart just started racing, and like me asusté, and I know that it's very powerful, like se me hizo bonito, ya me acuerdo que no me podía ni dormir. Mm-hmm. And after that I actually haven't meditated. No. Because I just feel like now I have this like, I call it power, it's not really a power, but I feel like
it can be whatever you want it to be.
As soon as I click into it,
yeah.
And like I realized that when I meditate without music, mm-hmm. It's even worse like that. Yeah. Not worse, but like more powerful, stronger. So me da miedo, and it's crazy because I really think, and I know I told you this all the time, you write down what you want. Mm-hmm. And I started writing down, that I'm ready to receive, to get all the memories that I need to understand today. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was a big part of.
Be careful lo que le pides a Dios porque Él te lo entrega.
Yeah.
Se lo pediste y te lo está entregando.
So I feel like por eso me dio miedo, porque I'm just like, am I really ready?
It's okay. Es algo que te iba a decir. Se me fue.
Yesterday, I couldn't go to sleep because every time I closed my eyes, veía like como luces mm-hmm. en mis ojos, mm-hmm. and like sentí miedo también. and because the book that I was writing on, it's right next to my bed, and I like grabbed it and I just like flipped through it, and I was like, dang, like I haven't written in it because Maddie told me right before I went to sleep, she's like, Mom, you're not writing in your notebook anymore, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna write in it today, and then like I flipped through it and like I closed my eyes, and since I'm like in this whole thing about symbols and things, I just like started seeing things así en los ojos cuando
Como
los
like
tiene unos cerrados.
Like signs or like.
No, like it was just lines. Like.
But I mean, like, do you mean symbols and like signs como cuando la gente ve 11-11, they're like, oh, or
no.
more like, I think you sent me something about like, if you want this with this symbol, like that?
No, I just started. So the book that I'm reading about Dolores Canyon, it says how like these extraterrestrial beings give them symbols, give them signs. They don't remember what they're for, but when it's time for them to remember,
kind of like you were saying about the ruins in Mexico, how those signs were there.
So I just like that's what I visualize it as being like. I'm ready to receive this, and I'm gonna get a symbol. I'm gonna get a sign some way. So last night that happened to me, where I started just seeing like random lines. You know when like right now you look at the light y cierras los ojos y ves la luz. Así se sentía, and like abrí los ojos, and like se me imaginaba yo viendo cosas like en el cuarto, and like sentía mucho miedo y no me podía dormir. Like me sentaba and I would take deep breaths, and I just feel like when I'm in the quiet, it's very hard for me to like not feel scared.
Because so I feel like en el tiempo que te tomaste para ti, finalmente you got comfortable in your silence and you gave yourself, and I don't know if you felt this way, but you gave yourself and God, te dejaste escuchar a Dios. Y ahora you're connecting to Him.
Yeah. So what is God for you?
God is everything. God is you. God is me. God is that plant.
Yeah.
God is that mushroom. Not that. I don't know if that fake mushroom, but that plant, that succulent. God is everything, no? God está en todos. I heard this story que Dios se cansó. I don't know if it was in that book that I told you to read.
I haven't started reading it.
I don't remember if it was in that one, but they said que Dios se cansó tanto de que le pidiéramos que se escondió. Y que en el único lugar que se podía esconder, que a nadie se le iba a atrever a buscarlo, era dentro de ti.
Yo no lo, dude, eso viene en la Biblia.
Yeah.
That's what the Bible says. So I haven't read the Bible.
I haven't either.
But I've read verses, and I know like on TikTok me salió ese verse donde dice, and
that's why I think the Bible is true. It's just misinterpreted and manipulated by the church.
It's manipulated porque le ponen y le quitan.
Pero porque si has tratado de leer la Biblia, like the way it's written, it's hard to understand. Y se puede manipular la palabra de una manera o de la otra. So I think they manipulate it para que les beneficie a ellos.
Yeah. But I also think that it's very much reading in between the lines. So I do think God is everywhere. I do think that we are all God. For the most part, I truly, truly believe that we are God.
Yeah.
Like, I do believe that God is in everything, because I think God is an energy. I don't think it's a he or a she. I just think it's energy, and when I think about God, I think about myself. I think about what I deserve. I think about the person that I'm meant to be. ¿Y dónde está para mí? Well, like I said, it's in me.
In your kids?
Yeah, in my kids. In what I say and what I do. It's in everything.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't know. I feel like the reason why we touched on that name for the podcast of Yin and Yang es porque tenemos pensamientos muy similares, pero no todo
es igual.
Yeah, no todo, it doesn't all match up, but I don't really feel like and it's crazy because I don't really feel like I stress about if God is a he or a she. I don't stress about. Before I used to think God was the earth, and I used to always be like, God is not he, God is the earth. But now I feel like I don't know what God is, gender wise. All I know is que está en mí y que es amor, que Dios es amor y que Dios es luz y que Dios es eso, el amor y la luz que tenemos en nosotros. Y eso hago a veces cuando me tocaba en el trabajo, que a veces when I had difficult patients, I would look at them and I would be like, you are God, en ti está Dios, y aunque me estés diciendo...
Y cambia, güey, ya,
bájale. No, aunque estés siendo racista, aunque me estés faltando el respeto, yo amo a Dios y tengo amor en mí y no te voy a faltar al respeto y and I love you.
Yeah.
Pero te iba a decir porque me sonó mucho lo que dijiste de la meditación before we end this. My friend talks to me about her meditations y dice que cuando ella medita, se sube y se ve sentada. Y para mí la meditación es tan diferente. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. I don't know what it is, but for me, when I meditate, I just feel my body. Siento mi cuerpo y te platiqué de la vez que I feel like I've had a couple of noche oscuras. I think one of them was when I had my second miscarriage. I went through a lot, very heavy. Pero
that's actually one thing that we've never talked about, like me and you.
I feel like it's something we can get into. It's something I'm open to talking about. I don't think a lot of people know how I feel about that stuff because I don't feel like people want to hear it.
It's not that I don't want to hear it. It's just that I don't want to make you go through it again. I feel like that's why I never really asked you anything about it.
I feel like we can talk about it. That could definitely be an episode where we can talk about that. But una vez estaba, and I told you that I laid down for meditating. I just do it however I want to, whenever it feels good to my body. Duré un tiempo donde me sentaba así en una silla y meditaba bien a gusto. Ahorita estoy en una etapa donde me acuesto y me relajo bien a gusto. I was like laying down, and I was in the shower and the room was dark. Y en ese tiempo I was going through a lot.
You were in the bathtub?
No, I was in my bed. Laying down.
Juan was in the shower.
Juan was in the shower. Y estaba acostada. Y I was going through a lot, obviously, because I said after my miscarriage and a lot of stuff going on at home with my family. Pero I was like laying down. Y en este tiempo meditaba mucho, so se me hacía también muy fácil meditar. Y I was just laying there listening to whatever, and I feel my legs like start to lift out of my body, dude. And I was like, fuck no.
You freaked out?
I freaked out, dude, and I was like, nope, me levanté, and I was like, nope, not doing that.
Así como me dices tú, ¿por qué te da miedo?
No, pero esa era otra etapa. Ahora deseo que me pasara eso, dude. I would love for that to happen. I feel like que por eso busco tanto una meditación assisted, because I feel like it would be easier to lift out of your body and to connect with God.
You just need to do it without any noise. And you need to remember that thing I sent you on Instagram where you have to act like your body's erased?
It's because I can't visualize. For me, it's not visual.
But you don't have to visualize. Feel it. Feel like you're not there. Feel like you're air. You have to.
But for me,
that's what I do.
Pero para mí esa vez, cuando yo meditaba y ahora que medito, siempre entra a mi cuerpo. It's like, feel your legs, feel your arms, and just like siento mi cuerpo. Maybe it's the same thing. I feel my body numb. Like I just, I touch, I get so in tune to my body and feeling like cómo se sienten mis piernas, cómo se siente esto, que mi cuerpo, hasta a veces si me duelen los pies, and I meditate and I'm focusing on my feet, the pain relieves, no se me quita, but they feel better. Even with headaches, a veces también. Yeah. Like if I meditate, it helps. Or maybe sometimes I'm just hungry. But
I believe a lot in the chakras, and I believe that our hands heal. Like ahora que traía el dolor, ¿te acuerdas? When I was meditating with the kids, like I would touch my body. Now me baño y digo, esta agua me va a quitar lo que no sirve en mi cuerpo. But when I meditate, I truly like, me gusta poner mi mente en blanco. And like, I count. Like,
yeah, counting is good. Breath work.
I count down. I work on my breath. And I feel like it has a lot to do with what you do with your hands. Like, there's a lot of signs. Like,
I've seen it.
Like, you do this, or like, there's even one like to lose weight.
I've seen. I don't know if I sent it to you, but I sent it to my friend. But I saw a video where a girl was talking about that because they were talking about this in a podcast. Y le preguntó al muchacho que how you touch that level of meditation to be able to transcend.
Yeah.
Y estaba diciendo que te pones la mano aquí in between your belly button and aquí en la navel.
And
You go like this.
también a la que es así, que una mano arriba de la otra. O como te enseñé de las manos y lo, like, open your circle. Like, and then you have to close it at the end too.
We didn't close it the other day, maybe por eso andábamos todas locas.
No, I
didn't. You didn't tell me.
And like, also what I've gotten into is like when I'm close to negative people, like, I'm like, quítate eso. Like, no, it doesn't belong.
Me and my friend at work, we used to stress a lot. Con la que medito, con la que te digo. Her name's Silas. We used to do this thing. We go like this, and it was like cleanse your energy.
The whole time you're just messing up your hair.
Literally, no, but it would be funny because you would do that. Pero I want to tell you que yo no, I don't feel like quiero empezar a creer. Voy a empezar a creer. Voy a empezar a tener los pensamientos de que la energy de la otra gente no te afecta. I don't think other people's. I think es toda tu energía, it's all in your head.
I honestly think that we work like a sponge.
See?
Yeah, I feel like.
But you don't think we can control it?
No, I think we can, but I don't think we have that ability yet. Me and you both, because
meditating helps me.
I feel like once you're at a higher frequency, you will be able to. But I feel like right now we're not at that point because even when we're together, I feel like we absorb a lot of each other's energy.
We do. I agree. Meditating helps me though. Like a veces cuando llegaba del trabajo cansada or whatever y que no quería darle todo eso a Juan, I would just meditate for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Or just, sit in the quiet for 20 minutes and como que me sacaba todo eso.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's that.
That's it for this episode.
Yeah, that answers all of our questions.
Please like and subscribe.
Please comment, like, subscribe. I just want to say though really quickly que we love everybody. I know. I just love everybody. I don't take anything personal.
And that's my biggest problem, that I love too much.
I love you all. And by that I mean if I mentioned you in this podcast, I love you. And everything you've done is helped me grow in this life. Nunca viene de un lugar feo o malo. And if I said something that insulted you, please reach out to me. We can talk about it.
Catch me outside.
No, not catch me outside. I'll sit down and have a conversation with you because I love you.
Yeah, same.
But I think that's it for this episode. Alrighty, guys. Nos vemos en la próxima. Bye.